19 and 20, Jesus says, people loved the darkness rather than the light because their works were evil. For everyone who does wicked things hates the light and does not come to the light, lest his works should be exposed. In Hebrews 11:4, it says, by faith, Abel offered to God a more acceptable sacrifice than Cain. Faith. And Abel's righteous actions, what they did is they actually exposed Cain's actions for what they truly were, evil. But here's the thing. When people have their evil actions exposed, they don't like it. Abel's actions exposed Cain for what he truly was: envious, selfish, prideful, arrogant, and Cain didn't like it. So he removed the thing that exposed him, that shone a light on his actions, namely his brother Abel. Don't be surprised, dear brothers and sisters, if the world hates you. When John says the world here, he means the systems and values that are in contradiction to God. That's what the world means. Referring to the darkness, rather as opposed to the light. Cain was living in darkness. Abel was living in the light. Their actions proved that. As followers of Jesus, our goal is not to befriend the world. Listen, when I say the world, I'm not talking about people. We're trying to reach people. We're trying to love them. We're trying to point them to Christ so that they can come out of the darkness and into his wonderful light. Don't get that mixed up. We love people, but we are not to befriend the systems and values that are in direct contradiction to God. Because when we place our faith in Jesus, we're adopted into his family. Friends, he's our king. We're called to be set apart. We're called to be righteous and holy. Our allegiance is now to another kingdom, and we're citizens of that world. Therefore, we should never take what Jesus says and try to mix it with some of what the world says. Friends, these are at odds with one another. Light and darkness, they can't coexist. Then all the way back in Deuteronomy, just listen to this. When the Lord your God goes ahead of you and destroys the nations and you drive them out and live in their land, he says, do not fall into the trap of following their customs and worshiping their gods. He says, don't even inquire about their gods. Saying, how do these nations worship their gods? I want to follow their example. He says, no, you must not worship the Lord your God the way the other nations worship their gods. They perform for their gods every detestable act that the Lord hates. We stand upon the word of God. It's not our job to change it or adapt it or dilute it. It's just to stand upon it.